expecting it to happen this fast. Oh my god. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kaylee and I'm back with some more Apothecary Diaries. So last episode made me even more conflicted about Shisui's character, which I think is just a testament to how complex and in-depth her character development has been. I loved her when she was first introduced as Shisui the servant. Obviously, I thought she was a great friend for MAOMAO. She had a lot of very interesting, quirky hobbies and interests similar to MAOMAO. And then I definitely felt some type of way when MAOMAO was kidnapped by her and Suire. But so far, I've just been going back and forth because as much as I have resentment for her dragging MAOMAO into this, or even just being involved in this scheme as a whole, she also is very supportive of MAOMAO and what seems to be a good friend outside of this whole thing. And then we ended last episode with her offing a bunch of kids. So that is really tough. We left off on a cliffhanger of why she brought MAOMAO to the room where she did administer the poison to the kids. And I threw around some theories at the end of last episode of what she could possibly be wanting from MAOMAO. And honestly, I don't know, but my mind keeps coming back to the hairpin moment where she was trying to, I guess, give MAOMAO some space to talk about JINSHI and maybe start a conversation about JINSHI so that she could potentially give some hint as to his role in this whole thing. Why are they doing this? Why did they try to kill him, during that ceremony? There are still unanswered questions when it comes to their actual motives and their plans. And I feel like Shisui was trying to open the door to that with the hairpin conversation. The Imperial Army is marching that way, which is so exciting. And I'm assuming that JINSHI is at the head of that. And I really want JINSHI to be the one to reveal his identity to MAOMAO. But why do I have a feeling it's not going to be him? Why do I have a feeling it's going to be Shisui? Which would kill me, but at the same time, I guess it just depends on the context of why she brought her there. So I guess we'll see. If you want to stick around, go ahead and hit subscribe. The uncut version of this reaction will be over on Patreon, so I'll put that link in the description box below if you want to check that out. And now let's jump into the episode. Okay. Why? Oh, okay. I love, actually, as much as I am conflicted about her character overall and how I feel about her, I do love this type of perspective on her motivation of not becoming a mother because of what she experienced, and that being an underlying way that she's looked out for herself through all of this, despite having to execute this bigger plan of control and power, whatever they're trying to accomplish. And so I do love that. I think it adds a lot to her character, and the way that it's been told over these last couple of episodes is also really beautiful. So okay. What? Oh no, 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 no. Wait, so is she... Again, this is so MAOMAO, right? This internal monologue of, I don't need to get involved because I'm focused on me and what I'm doing, and I'm getting dragged into this and I'm going through so much. But at the end of the day, she's still caring about other people, and she's still going out of her way to save, protect, help other people. I can't imagine it'll be any different in this situation. What was her plan? I guess to go out there and face the army alongside her mother, maybe? Oh no.
私には意地だよ。私の。そんなもの捨ててしまえばいい。ねえマオマオ。マオマオは目の前に未知の毒があって飲む機会が一度しかないと言われたらどうする？飲み干す。でしょ?
I guess I don't understand. So maybe I'll understand better when I know why what she's like planning to do. But right now it kind of seems like she's gonna go stand by her mother, do her duties, stand up to this Imperial army, which is ultimately gonna result in her death, right? Theoretically. So I guess what I don't understand is like, does that kind of mean that she was part of planning it? Or she's invested in it, right? Because like equating it to something that MAOMAO is so passionate about and is so willing to do even if it harms her physically is quite interesting, because that is something that MAOMAO thoroughly enjoys, right? So then why do you feel this need to like fulfill a duty to this, right? Oh.
せめて願掛けくらいさせて。マオマオらしくないな。たまにはいいでしょ。たまには。
No.
いつか返してもらい物だから。
Oh no.
無理言わないで。売り払っちゃうよ。なら。
No, 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 no. No. Oh my goodness. I know why she gave it to her, but I really wish she like we never get the moment where she wears it for JINSHI. That's kind of disappointing. I don't know. I don't know why I'm sad about that, honestly. Oh, okay. Okay. Kazugetsu. We got the whole like, you know, like royal guard leading this army. Okay, okay. I'm excited about this, honestly.
気づいていたか、人種と私が同一人物であると。ええ、背丈、体重。
Yeah, I mean, come on, these are the two smartest people around there, of course. Only slightly creepy, but I'm loving this ponytail situation happening, full ponytail.
おそらく師匠は戦に備えて火器を用意しているはず。
フェイファか。
あれは籠城戦には向かない。城壁の上から敵をまとめて始末する。
Cannons?
砲か。
Dang.
どうするんだ。
砲を使えないように、まず火薬の保管庫を落とす。少々突飛なやり方です。
Is that what Shisui did? I mean, right?
問題があります。
Okay.
何が問題なのだ。
金軍が奇襲ですか。
金軍。大尉の意見に賛同する。できるだけ被害を抑えたい。
わかりました。
So this is kind of what confused me last episode, was like, presumably based on what we know, the Shi clan was essentially planning for a war, producing all this gunpowder, obviously for cannons, for guns, all of that. But then I guess with the word of the royal guard heading that way, why did they just decide like, oh, we're gonna flee now? And like so many people just like ran, but then also Shisui blew up the gunpowder. So it's like, I don't know if Shisui was acting against the Shi clan by doing that, by potentially trying to give the royal guard a chance to lose as little people as possible, or if that was part of the plan of like, oh, we were not prepared for this. But it does feel like they're scrambling far too much, considering this was literally their plan. Like, this is what they wanted to happen ultimately. I'm sure it's not the exact way they wanted it to happen, but they were planning for war. They had to know that at some point something like this could happen. Oh.
わかっている。
Oh. I wonder if that was part of the reason he was so reluctant to become Kazugetsu again, right? Because now, as part of the Imperial family, it's a lot different when he is close or more casual with a woman, right? Especially someone who is identifying as a servant, despite her lineage. She's probably not considered like a suitable candidate for marriage. So maybe he is thinking that that's going to make her someone that he really can never go to in the same way again.
夜には雪が止むので、作戦決行可能とのことです。
仮想部隊を急がせろ。はっ。待ってろ、マオマオ。
Oh.
パパが必ず助け
Not
てやるからな。
Papa. It's crazy because in the first season, I know I'm pausing so much, I'm so sorry. In the first season, it's kind of nuts how much you'd think, or like I thought that Locken was just like the enemy, right? And in so many ways, like just the villain of the season. And then like you get to really understand the story and you do kind of gain some empathy. And then this season it's just been like just these funny, trying to be like pseudo fatherly type of moments, and they're just very entertaining.
金軍が攻めてくるまでまだ時間があるだろうに。わざわざ私に聞こえる場所で凶楽にふけっている。そんな女ではなかった。
Oh, okay. So this is the Shisui moment, potentially? Okay, so maybe she did blow him up to sabotage them.
何なのさっきの音。
これから確かめるところだ。
Oh, okay.
何ですかローラン。そのはしたない格好は。
お母様方に言われたくありません。子供たちを放置し快楽に身を投じるあなた方にだけは。
Oh. Oh no. Oh my god. Okay, okay, okay. Wait, I love this. I'm understanding now. So her duty is not to stand by her mother's side and execute this plan. Her duty is to essentially sabotage them and stand up for what she believes is right and against what is wrong, which in this case is the She Clan's movements. It also feels like her mother ultimately was the mastermind of all this to begin with. That's kind of what it feels like based on Shisho's thoughts.
いつも鮮明に従順で命令されるままに着飾る人形のような子だと思っていて慣れている。鮮明が水霊を疎んでいたのは知っていた。しかし、こんな折檻を日常的。
Yeah, he kind of sucks because all this was happening and you just didn't know and didn't care.
なんと至らない父親か。
I agree with that statement, yes.
お父様、最後くらい責任を取ってください。
ローラ。
常の里のたぬき親父です。
Oh, she's a badass.
最後まで化かしていきましょう。
Okay. Meaning what? I want to know her plan. I'm so curious. Oh no. Okay. They've got Lakan and Lahan. What do you expect?
勝てぬ相手と分かっていたはずです。
私の責任だな。
武器庫が雪で埋もれているぞ。もっと人を集めろ。
Oh? Oh my god. Sorry, he looks so cool. Is that art from the light novel or it would be from the light novel. That's so fire. Wow. Their front lines, that is so crazy. Oh my god. Wait, it's so hot hearing him give out commands. Like that stance? The strategist.
しかし宮廷でもタヌキ親父と言われた師匠がこんな場所に立てこもるなんて、ジョーちゃんの上官の天女と呼ばれた宦官がまさか金軍の大将として出てくるとは。皇族が率いる金軍が取る策にふさわしくないと思う者もいるだろう。だが自軍の被害を抑えるには。
Oh my gosh. Wait, do I like Kazugetsu more than I like Jinshi?
今日をつく策とのそしりは私が受ける。
Hot.
どんな頭してんだか。
奥様に。
Oh no.
お待ちください。中にいる人間もすぐさま外に出てきましょう。
Good point.
分かっている。だが逃げられない者がいるかもしれない。それなら
You know who's on his mind.
そういうわけにはいか。ここに艦大尉の娘が捕らえられている。ここにですか。
Oh.
あ、
I like how he pulled out her lineage that she does not claim, by the way, to like have an excuse to go in.
出ますね。ああ、そうだな。
Yeah, he's like, I don't really care about that. I need to just go get my girl, you know?
俺の仕事を全うするだけだ。
Oh?
俺をまさかな。こんなところにいるわけない。
The denial. Denial is a river in Egypt. My goodness.
ここにいる私も死の一族の人間だと思わ
Nope,
れ
just
かねない
stay, girl. Just stay.
せめて話の通じるやつであってくれ
Oh my god, I wasn't expecting it to happen this fast.
すみません保護していただけますか人士様
When has she ever asked him anything like that? The calmness, like the absolute trust in him. I just can imagine what's going through her head right now because again, like there's no way for her to know what is happening outside of what she's seeing. And so like she had to put blind trust in the people around her to come find her and they did.
違う
問題ありません帰り地です
問題あるだろ
海の地ですので懐かしいな
No.
うおいそれは
ん
トグ今は東宮ではない玉葉妃が巫女をご出産された
Oh my god. Okay, so two things just happened in that one 3-second moment. He just revealed the identity, right? Or it got revealed. So she's about to figure this out because there's definitely no ignoring that. There's no denying that. And then Gyokyo gave birth to a boy. So he's no longer the crown prince. So he's kind of just like chill and free. I mean, probably not, but okay. Okay.
天使様の正体か王帝は19歳25歳の人士様と年が合わないと思って老けてるんですね
李白はいるかはっあとは任せた
つかのことを聞く
Oh.
宮中で働くマオマオという娘に似ている気がするんだが
本人です
なぜここにいる
さらわれました
父ちゃんって
あれの名前を出さないでくださいあのおっさんとかで
お前が言うならそうなんだろう
I also love Lee
それ
Haku,
にしても
so.
汚ねえ格好だなまともに運動もできないのに無茶して
Oh,
腰やって
no.
動けなくなってるぜ誰か寝ているのか
子供ですでも息はしていません毒を煽ったようです
生き残っても一族はまとめて刑に処され
Oh
る
man.
女子供も関係ない
母親と一緒に弔うことはできないでしょうか
そういうことは俺の仕事じゃない
You know whose job it is?
一緒に弔うことはできねえけどこそっと墓地の近くに埋めるくらいならできる
罪に問われませんか
He is the sweetest. And you really think Jinshi is gonna get him in trouble for that?
一ついい手があるぞお前があのおっさんを
Oh
パパ
my
と
god.
呼んだら無事命令を完遂した合図だジョーちゃんを無事に連れ出すのが俺の仕事だ
私は死水から託されたことを全う
What did
する
she entrust you with?
それだけだ
You guys, I was just not expecting all of that in this episode. I'm a little shocked. Okay, we saw Jinshi fully as Kazugetsu, and I gotta say, 10 out of 10, super hot. Loved hearing his like crown prince or imperial family member voice, like giving the orders. He had the sword. It was so good. It was better than I could have imagined, to be honest with you. I also loved that the first thing he did when he got there was go find MAOMAO. Like at the end of the day, that solidifies the entire, not motive, right? Because ultimately this is still something that had to be handled by the palace to begin with, but it solidifies how much he does care about her and for her and really was thinking about her this entire time and was worried about her and just the relief that they both had when they were standing face to face. Like, I think that was the first time that we saw MAOMAO with just no denial, right? Like he walked in and she didn't take a beat. She said, "Can you please protect me?" And it was calm and it wasn't embarrassed. It was just honest because again, like she had to trust him and he showed up. And so she now feels like she can trust him. And then in her mind, she is missing the atmosphere of being around him and she smiles and there was no like sarcastic comment or thought or like pushback. It was just so honest and like, I don't know, the guards were fully down. Same with him. It's like you can tell that he had been so on edge just going into the situation and his one and only like sole focus as soon as he got there was finding her. And when he did, his face softened and he walked right up to her and like perfect. It was a perfect reunion moment, in my opinion. I'm really loving what we're seeing out of Shisui as the episodes go on. Like, again, I was just very unsure at the beginning of this episode if her duty was to her family in the Shi clan or if her duty was to finally stop being a complacent part of this and to step up and be there for her sister and for the people that she cares about. And it seems like she has done the right thing, and it seems like she has a plan and she's going to get Shisho involved in the plan as well as Suirei. So I'm very interested to know what her plan is and what type of trick she's planning to play at this point. And I also really want to know what MAOMAO is expected to do. It seems like MAOMAO has a very strong understanding of what is being left to her in terms of like, you do the rest. That's the cliffhanger we've been left on. So I'm hoping we'll find out next week. I think Lehaku's reaction to the children really validated for MAOMAO, and I think as the audience, Shisui's decision to poison the children and to keep them from having to experience the brutality of what would happen to them if they were alive. I think in a lot of ways this probably was the best thing, and now if they can at least rest peacefully, I think that's the right thing. Obviously this has nothing to do with resurrecting the children after death, as we have seen, but I am very curious what MAOMAO is setting out to do. I also love that just like one of the biggest storylines for this Imperial army is like, we have to find Lakan's daughter because like she's been kidnapped and she's here and blah 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 blah. And I also love that because remember when she was first taken, JINSHI was like a little unsure of whether she went willingly or unwillingly, and it's clear that she left a note and therefore was probably not going willingly, but at the same time it is kind of their job to approach everything with some level of suspicion in terms of like, was she part of this overall plan? It could seem suspicious that she got very close to JINSHI. She worked her way into a role that was kind of above her despite her lineage just coming in as like a basic servant, but being quickly elevated because she could read, she could write, she was really smart, she was an apothecary. But I love that both JINSHI and Lakan have framed it up as like, this is my daughter and she has been kidnapped and a priority is to find her, period. And that's what they did. This show is just so good, and like every passing episode reminds me of how amazing the show is. I'm sure there's so many things I'm forgetting about or like should be talking about, but it'll have to wait till next week when I can like digest it all and think about it. But thank you so much for watching. If you want to stick around, go ahead and hit subscribe. The uncut version of this reaction will be over on Patreon, so I'll put that link in the description box below if you want to check that out. And I'll see you guys next time for another episode of Apothecary Diaries. Bye.